Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of moos3h's Streamer Showcase, and today we have the captain with the best beard on the seas. It's Cptredbeard. How are you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm great. So, what kind of streamer are you?
So particularly I am a variety streamer. I don't really hold myself to one game or another. I enjoy playing lots of games. Anything from, first person shooters, Sea of Thieves. And I've got quite the reputation on Among Us. So
Nice. What kind of
yeah.
channel are you trying to build?
So basically, kind of a spin-off of your interview with Niz last week. I am building a safe space as somebody who has struggled with mental health over the last 16, 17 years since I've been diagnosed. I'm working on building a community where gaming is kind of your escape. So I always use gaming as my way of kind of avoiding the real world. And so I want to kind of bring that to light to allow people to just come have some fun and forget their troubles of the day.
Nice. Okay. So, this week, what are you going to be streaming? What games and when?
So every single Wednesday night, we run an Among Us session in my Discord. It's open to anyone, whether it's followers, whether it's fellow streamers, anybody who wants to sign up for the day. So I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I pick one day randomly throughout the weekend. Normally, it's never really set in stone. It just depends on kind of what I'm doing for the weekend. Just like Halloween's tomorrow, I'm not going to be streaming Halloween. I know some people are. So it's just kind of fun. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I stream right around 8 o'clock to about 10:30.
So, why did you start streaming?
Um, so this is a really hard question for me to answer personally. So one of the things that I've struggled with most of my life is I'm a very anxious person. I don't do well in group settings. I don't do well um, being the center of attention or kind of putting myself out there.
Okay.
And so I talked with my therapist at the time and kind of was, going through some things with her. And I wanted to do something that was my comfort zone, which is streaming. I mean, which is playing video games, which I know, from what we just talked about, it's always been kind of my escape. So on top of that, streaming was building off of it. I wanted to learn to break out of my shell a little bit more and be a little bit more of a outgoing person. So streaming just kind of was the building block there.
Great. What kind? So you mentioned earlier that you're trying to build like a mental health safe haven almost. How are you trying to incorporate that into your daily, your streams in the week? How is that kind of manifesting?
So with streaming in what I do within my streams, so I know that Niz and a lot of those guys do a really good job at bringing it to the forefront. I idolize a lot of those guys and how they do what they do. I just was watching, last week Niz's interview with Anxiety, I think's their name. And I take a lot of takeaways from that. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to promote it to be a very safe, not so like making fun of people, not so rude, not so whatever. I just want people to come and have fun. And I want it to just kind of not be something that we discuss every day, but something that we know we're working on trying to just give some people a little bit of fun for the day because they might have had a day that, just isn't. We want to bring that in to definitely focus on.
That's good. It's a very noble goal to just, particularly sometimes people don't really like talking about mental health and things like that. But if you've got a very safe platform where you're not, it's kind of the unspoken rule by the sounds of what you were saying, where it's a safe place. We're not gonna take the piss out of you or anything like that. It's just gonna be a safe, welcoming place, which is great. Was there anything that inspired you to start streaming, or was it just you thought with your therapist that gaming's great, streaming might help pull you out of your comfort zone, but in a safer way? Or was it?
Yes. So this is again one of those loaded things. So actually, when I talked to my therapist about possibly streaming, that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
I actually started streaming August 30th of this year was my first day. Today marks my 2-month anniversary of streaming there. So with that being said, it's something that I've thrown around for years and years and years. And I finally, I lost my full-time job back in February, which, you know, a lot of people were going through at the time and stuff. It was a major layoff for my company. And so I got kind of in this rut where I wasn't doing anything. It wasn't healthy. And I really just needed to pull myself out of it. And I was applying for a couple jobs. I wasn't hearing anything back because, you know, COVID made that very difficult. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to just start piecing stuff together. I'm going to start streaming and just see where it takes me. Because I really needed to get out of that funk I was in. Sure. And that's what I used to get me out of it. And so far, it has been one of the greatest decisions of my life. I've met some of the greatest people that I know through streaming, through Pipeline. So it's just been a really good decision. But it took me a really long time to finally hit that go live button. I mean, we're talking years for me to finally do that.
Good. Was there any streamers that you watched before you went go live, or?
Yeah. So I watched a lot of different streamers. I was an Xbox person for a long time, so naturally Mixer was really easy for me to pull up and view. So I used to watch a couple streamers on Mixer. Some of them now are on Facebook. Some of them have moved to Twitch. So people like Spartacus, Jared FPS. I used to watch like a lot of Tim the Tap Man and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I started getting really tired of the first person shooter stuff. So I started to branch out a little bit and started watching a lot of different just chatting streams. Some of the different gameplays like Sea of Thieves and stuff like that, because I did enjoy Sea of Thieves. Well, I still really do. But funny thing is, I actually ran across one of the Pipeline streamers whenever before I started in Pipeline, which is Mighty Gamer Dad.
All right. Yeah.
Who also did my sweet logo.
It is a very good logo. Yeah.
Yeah. He did an awesome job.
And well, did you meet him on the seas and just
No, actually I came across his Facebook channel when he was streaming one day. Before I even joined Pipeline, he didn't even mention Pipeline. It just happened to be that was one of the things. With that mentioning, I don't give a lot of the bigger name people that I used to watch. I used to watch people, along the lines of Ninja, Stone Mountain, and those guys. I mean, who hasn't chimed in for a Ninja stream once in their life?
Sure.
So, I mean, he was the biggest streamer on Mixer for the longest time. So you just click on it every once in a while.
Good. All right. So you are playing lots of different games at the minute. You're mentioning Sea of Thieves and a few others. Is there any particular fallback that you always go to if you're needing like a comfortable stream?
Yeah. So I always find more enjoyment for me because it allows me to interact a little bit better with my community. Is Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves to me is the game where, I'm on push to talk the entire time, so my crew really can't hear me, and I can sit there and chat with my community almost the entire time because there's a lot of downtime between stuff. I have noticed that with my gaming that I'm trying to think of the easy way to put this. First-person shooters like Call of Duty and Warzone and stuff like that take me away from my community a lot more. So I try not to focus so much on those. Rogue Company, games like that are really fun for me because you get a lot of breaks in those that allow you to really interact with your community. I have the most fun when I get those interactions and playing games. I even streamed a game last week called Hello Neighbor, which is kind of like some creepy puzzle platform game. And it was fun for me because it gave me time to sit there the entire time and just listen to some music, chillax, and talk to my chat. And it was a really good time.
Good. That's great. Yeah, it is good when you find that kind of game or that genre which really helps you nurture chat. For me, it was Star Wars, and just leave, like you said, leaving COD behind, because COD it's uber sweaty. You don't get much downtime, so yeah, it's great, and I'm glad you managed to find one. And obviously through Sea of Thieves is how we originally met. I think you dropped by one of my streams the first time or second time I played Seas.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew you from Pipeline beforehand, but the first time I ever dropped into your actual stream was we hopped in a boat together like 5 minutes later.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's what's good about games like Seas. It's just nice and chill. You don't have to worry about it too much, and it's a great place to kind of meet people and enjoy making content with them. Great. If you could trade places with any streamer, past or present, on any platform, even in the different platforms' heydays, who would it be and why?
That's actually a really good question. I have a firm belief that I would never want to be on the level of where I outgrow my chat. Once I get to the point where I can't keep up with my chat room, I feel like I've gotten too big. And that's not a knock on any of the larger streamers. They didn't ask for that, and I know that growth just comes. It's one of those things. So for me personally, I don't want to be anything bigger than just your average of the road streamer. And the reason for that for me is the community is what has helped me so far with my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to pick any streamer on any platform, and that's tough. That's honestly really tough for me because I have so many favorites. But if I had to pick my favorite channel currently, like if I sit down and I'm just watching someone play, man, Moose, you threw a tough one at me here.
Maybe if you want, if it's too tough, maybe elements from each streamer. So say, I want the chat interaction level of this streamer, but the quality of this streamer, and blah blah blah. If that helps you answer.
Yeah.
That.
So if I had to pick one, I would go with Disguised Toast.
Okay.
I love Among Us. A lot of people know that I take Among Us very seriously.
No,
and
never takes it seriously.
Disguised Toast is one of the smartest people I've ever watched play the game, and I learn a lot of my techniques and my doing through him. The reason I would want to be him isn't because of his chat. It isn't because of his size. It's his actual video content making. I think he is a brilliant editor when it comes to off-stream editing, and that's something I lack. So I would love to grow into those types of roles.
Okay, great. That's cool. If you had one hook line to say to the world to bring people into your chat, what would it be?
Oh, that's another tough one.
Hitting you with the hard-hitting ones today. Just what sentence? If I gave you like, you've got 30 seconds, say something to bring people to your chat.
If you were giving me 30 seconds, I guess along the lines of that, I just want people to come and hang out with me, to just enjoy every moment that we can, because I know that life can get really rough. It can be hard. It can be difficult on all of us. And I'm going to be one of those people who will never judge you for the struggles that you're going through. and I am just here to hear you out and have a good time and hopefully help make your day just slightly better.
Great. That's great. All right, final question before we wrap things up. Is there a game on the horizon that you want to jump into? Either, well, let's say two games or one. It's up to you.
Yeah, so I've got two. There's two that have me really hooked right now.
Yeah.
Amazon and their open world game, which I think is called New World.
Yeah, New World. Yeah.
Yep. I'm really interested to see what that has and what that entails. And the second game for me, and I never get this name right, but it's the Ubisoft pirate game that's coming out. That's a spin-off of Assassin's Creed. It's called Skull and Bones.
Called Skull and Bones. Oh, I have heard of it.
And it's supposed to be coming out in March of 21.
Yeah.
And it is a game made by Ubisoft that took basically Assassin's Creed. I think it was 4 that they had the pirate stuff in it.
Black Flag, yeah.
Yep. And it's supposed to be an entire open world, just like Sea of Thieves, of that entire game. So I'm super pumped about that. I love pirates. My name comes after a pirate. So it's one of those things that I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Well, it is about the beard. But honestly, where it honestly comes from, most of my friends have always called me Redbeard. But back in the day, I was a ginormous Peter Pan fan. I have Disney tattoos all up and down my arms. Peter Pan had Blackbeard, who was the original enemy against Captain Hook and Peter Pan when they were actually friends. And so Captain Blackbeard has always been like, I always joke around. I'll jump into Sea of Thieves streams on Twitch and just be like, have you guys seen my brother Blackbeard? Just joking around with people just to see what they say. But it's just always been a joke.
Nice.
So
Good. Well, it's been great taking the time to chat to you, and hopefully this will help your stream. That's kind of the aim for these, is to showcase new streamers every week and hopefully drive people through. But yeah, have you anything else you want to say before we dive through the end?
No, honestly, like, I appreciate you taking your time with me, Moose. Like I said before, one of the greatest things that I ever did and made the decision of doing was joining Pipeline. I joined Pipeline 10 weeks ago. I started streaming 8 weeks ago.
That's great.
So it's been an awesome decision for my life. It's been an awesome way to meet new people. It's funny because even my girlfriend has met friends of our girlfriends or wives of streamers that I've met, and absolutely has formed some of her better friendships all just from this stuff. It's you really do become a family when we say Pipeline family, and it truly has been a great journey. That's so good. I thank you.
That's good, and I hope you stay with Pipeline for many years, because like you say, it is a family, and personally for me it's been amazing as well. It's been a slightly different journey, but we all have our own different journeys to take, and it is bringing us together. And I actually think that the majority of streamers out there are really nice people, and Pipeline helps bring people together, so that's great. Well, thank you for taking the time.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. So I've been Moosey, and that has been Redbeard. See ya.